Well, hey everybody, it is Melanie Mitro here at Committed to Getting Fit, and it is Sunday, and one of the things that I love to do on Sundays is meal plan. Now, why do I meal plan every single Sunday is because the bottom line is if you fail to plan in your nutrition and your fitness, you are basically planning to fail, right? If you fail to plan, you are planning to set yourself up for failure. And I tell you that from 100% personal experience that is true. So when I first started with my personal transformation, I literally got the fitness program that I was gonna do. I ripped open the packaging, I grabbed the workouts, I pressed play on the DVDs, and I sort of like put the nutrition over here. And I didn't really pay attention to it because personally, I thought that I could out-exercise my diet. I didn't really think that I needed that nutrition. I thought if I just ate low-fat or fat-free or diet Pepsi instead of regular Pepsi, whole grain bread instead of white bread, that I was gonna get results. And what happened is at the end of 30 days, I didn't actually get results and I was frustrated. But I was smart enough to know that, okay, this nutrition is gonna be 80% of my actual results. And I'd heard people talk about it. I heard people talk about how you can't out-exercise a bad diet. And it started to make sense to me that I was really missing a key piece in my own personal transformation. So what I did was I pulled out the nutrition plan that came with my fitness program and I began to plan and prep. Now, what I'm gonna share with you guys today is what I do and what works for me. I'm gonna show you my meal plan template. I am going to walk you through how I sit down every single week and I create a meal plan. It's not gonna be the same for you. You may choose to plan on your day off, and maybe your day off is a Monday or a Tuesday, but whatever day you say to yourself, I'm gonna go to the grocery store, this is the day I'm gonna get my plan together for the next 5 or 7 days, or maybe you are the kind of person that plans one day at a time. But the bottom line is you have to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, things are gonna come up, right? You're not gonna feel like cooking, or you're gonna stand in front of the fridge and not know what to eat, or gonna be missing ingredients for the dinner you're gonna wanna make. And you know what will end up happening is you will make bad choices. You will say, oh, well, let's just go out to eat. Or, oh, well, let's just, grab this handful of goldfish and a Diet Pepsi instead because you weren't prepared. So let's dive into this. And maybe this resonates with some of you. You can turn this around and you can get on the meal plan wagon with me. So what I did is I created this. This is a meal plan template. And honestly, you can create this in, if you guys have Excel, if you have a spreadsheet, literally, I just put the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I put my workout in here so I can actually write down my workout for the week, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and dinner, and then an optional evening snack. So when you are thinking about clean eating, the goal is to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours because that keeps your metabolism fired. It keeps that, keeps you from having those peaks and valleys where you're feeling good and you have energy, and then all of a sudden you get that crash because you've gone too long between meals. And when you go too long between meals, that's also when people make bad choices because they get ravenous and they're just starving. All right. So I try to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. I pair some sort of protein or good fat because that is a slower burning fuel with a faster burning fuel, which is a carbohydrate or a fruit or a vegetable. Does that make sense? So I try to kind of plan it out. So if you're following the portion fix and you have the portion fix containers, it's gonna be the same thing when you're pairing foods together. You're gonna look at your containers and you're gonna work that way. Now, when you're first starting out, one of my tips for you is do not say to yourself, I'm starting this meal planning, I'm learning how to eat clean, or I'm learning how to do the fixed nutrition, and you make all new recipes. All 7 days of the week are new recipes. Most likely, you are going to burn yourself out because cooking 7 new recipes every single day of the week is a lot of brain power. So I like to say to myself, what can I repeat? What can I create extras of? How can I slowly introduce new recipes to my family? All right, so now that we've kind of got a couple of those outlined, now we sit down and we make our meal plan. So I take this meal plan, which again, you guys can create an easy Excel spreadsheet, and I put in my workout. So I think to myself, okay, what are my workouts this week? And I know for me, I'm doing hammer and chisel. So I just go along and I write in, you know, my hammer and chisel workouts every single day of the week. I just know that's going to be my game plan. Then I think, what is going to be my breakfast? And before we dive into this, let's think about what are the obstacles that you have in the next 7 days? Because this is key, because this will also throw you off. So I think to myself, okay, I'm leaving to go on a business trip on Thursday. That is something I'm gonna have to think ahead, right? I know I'm leaving for a business trip on Thursday, so I'm gonna have to plan out my food accordingly. Maybe you have a date scheduled with your spouse on Wednesday night and you're going to your favorite restaurant and you really want to have a glass of wine and you really want to have dessert. And so it's okay to have that. It's okay to schedule in one cheat meal every single week, right? A cheat meal does not mean that you go over the top and you gorge yourself, but it means you say to yourself, I'm going to go to dinner. I'm going to have my glass of wine. I'll say no to the bread. I'll have a salad. I'll have a healthy dinner with a piece of meat or, you know, some healthy vegetables and a healthy side. And then I will also have my dessert. So, you know, you pick and choose and it's part of the plan. But that also means if your date night is Wednesday and that's your cheat meal, it means that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when you're just hanging out and, you know, people want to order pizza or they want to, you know, they want to get dessert or ice cream, you have a choice to make. You can get ice cream. Nobody's telling you you can't. But what will happen is you will sacrifice a little bit of that progress if you have too many cheat meals in the week, and then you'll find yourself getting frustrated and ending up breaking even or moving a little backwards in your plan. So I always say to myself, when is my cheat meal going to be? What am I looking forward to in the upcoming week? And I actually put that on my game plan. All right, so tomorrow is Monday morning. Breakfast. I know that for me, I have my Shakeology every morning for breakfast. So I will write Shakeology in there, but I mix it with coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. I will do 1 teaspoon of almond butter, and then I will do unsweetened coconut in there. I'll mix it up with water and some ice. All right, so now I go over here. I have a separate sheet of paper, and this is my grocery list. So you would need to think to yourself, okay, I put Shakeology on there. We know we have that, but do you have the coconut milk? Okay, I don't have coconut milk. That's something I need to get at the grocery store. So now I put coconut milk on there. Do I have the unsweetened coconut? Do I have, yep, I have all that. So I don't need to worry about that. So a lot of times I'm meal planning and I'm in the kitchen sort of going through the pantry, or I make my grocery list and then I go look and see, oh, I had canned tomatoes, cross that off. And then I know I don't need to get that. Then I think about my snacks. Tomorrow I'm working, so I just need something portable. So I'm gonna have apple, I'm gonna have 1 apple, and then I'm gonna have 12 unsalted cashews, all right? Because that's a healthy snack. So just eating an apple for a snack, okay. But because that's a fast burning fuel. But if you combine it with the 12 unsalted cashews, you put the fast burning with the slow burning and you have a lot, you'll keep yourself full a little bit longer. So do you have apples in the fridge? No. Apples need to go on my grocery list. Do I have unsalted cashews? No. Cashews go on my grocery list, all right? So see how I'm kind of doing the two together. The next thing is, what is going to be lunch? Well, lunch on Monday is going to be leftovers. Tonight we're making coconut chicken fingers, which are really, really good. So I'm going to have leftover chicken fingers for lunch. I always make extra so I don't have to worry about lunch the next day. Chicken fingers, and then I'll make some extra green beans. So I will just have some steamed green beans and maybe like a half of a sweet potato. All right, and that'll be my lunch. I don't need anything for that. I have all the ingredients. My afternoon snack, I'm gonna have 1 cup of cucumbers, and I am gonna have, you know, I'm gonna have 1 orange container of hummus is what I'm gonna do. All right, so do I have hummus? Gotta write hummus on over here. And then if you don't have cucumbers, you gotta write cucumbers. All right, so the next thing is, what am I gonna have for dinner? So this is where people get stuck. They think, oh my gosh, I have to go and research recipes. I have to come up with these. Then how do I fit them into the containers? And they just get overwhelmed. So when I was first learning to eat clean, I did not go out and find fancy recipes with lots of ingredients because I didn't know how to fit that into my nutrition plan. So I keep it basic at the beginning. So flank steak is a great dinner option. So I got flank steak, and so we're just gonna put it on the grill and do some flank steak. We're gonna do a half of a baked sweet potato because sweet potatoes are huge around here. and then we are going to grill asparagus, and that is going to be our dinner. So we've got flank steak that is marinated in olive oil, a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of Fiesta seasoning. That's the Mrs. Dash, no salt added. We'll bake 5 or 6 sweet potatoes tonight, and then we'll put those in the fridge, and I can just cut those up and warm those up throughout the week. Grilled asparagus is super easy. You just drizzle some olive oil, put them on the grill while you're making your steak, and there is your side. So, do I need any of those things at the grocery store? Well, yes. I need asparagus, and I need the flank steak, all right? So then if I get hungry tomorrow night, what's gonna be a snack option that I could have? You know, I can make the Shakeology mug cake. You know, I could make the Shakeology chocolate. I could have some kale chips. If I wanna make kale chips, I better get some kale, so that better go over here on my list. All right, so it's nothing fancy, but it's done. So now we go to Tuesday. What's Tuesday gonna look like? Maybe you're a creature of habit and you're like, I can eat the same snacks every single day. I'll have an apple and almonds again. I will have, you know, cucumbers again, or maybe tomorrow I'll switch it up and I'll have celery, or I'll have red peppers that are sliced up with hummus. And then I begin to look at my dinners and I say, okay, I can make shrimp stir fry. Shrimp is 1 serving of protein, red container. I can cut up some carrots and peppers and onions and broccoli, and I can portion that out. I can saute that with some olive oil. I can have a cup of brown rice. That can be my dinner for Tuesday. Again, I take what I don't already have in the pantry. I put it on my grocery list. Keep it super basic. If you are ready to kind of start trying some new recipes, one of the things that I do is when I'm sitting here is and I'll show you this. So my blog is just melaniemitro.com, and a lot of people ask me for recipes, and if you go to my site and then you click Eat Clean Recipes, you can see recipes. So say you want just dinner ideas. I've got all sorts of great ideas. So a lot of times I use my own blog. Like I will go to my own blog and I will use these as my resources. So I may say to myself, man, ooh, I haven't had chicken fajitas in a while. All right, chicken fajitas it is. So I'll say chicken fajitas are gonna happen on Wednesday night. What do I need? Do I have all the ingredients? If I don't, I put them on the list. Right? You know, there's all the directions. You can even print this off or download it as a PDF. So I'll go through and I'll even use my own blog as my place to figure out what I'm gonna eat for the week. So this helps me to stay on track. If I'm struggling with, you know, snack ideas or things that I can eat, I just go up here and I will go to more, and I'll just go over here to snacks. And then I start looking at some of my snack ideas. That Shakeology pudding is to die for. All right, so I will go through. Maybe you're going to a birthday party or you're having some friends over and you want to serve some cookies. These Blondie cookies, these black bean brownies, people have no idea that they're even healthy. I've made them so many times and it's worked. This cookie dough Greek yogurt is amazing. This is perfect if you get like sugar cravings or you need ice cream. A lot of times my family will go out for ice cream and I'll whip myself up that cookie dough Greek yogurt. So there are lots and lots of ideas on here for you guys to use. There are breakfast ideas, there are kid-friendly ones, but you know, this is what I create my meal plan. And then if I get really stumped and I don't want to do anything that I've already made, sometimes I'll go to Pinterest and I will type in clean eating, you know, easy recipes, clean eating recipes that my family loves. And so I will basically sit down and do an entire week. By the time I'm done with this, I have my grocery list, I have my meal plan, and I just take this meal plan and I stick it in the kitchen on the refrigerator. I go to the grocery store, I've got my food for the week, it's in the refrigerator. Sometimes I'll even sit down and cut up some of the cucumbers and some of the vegetables for the week, or portion out the hummus into little single serving containers so that if I'm out and about, I can just grab it and go along the way. All right, so I do what I can on my prep day, which for me is Sundays, to make my life better. Now, really quickly, let's touch on this traveling thing. So I'm leaving on Thursday. I'm going to speak at a conference. And so for me, I know that number one, I need to pack my Shakeology. So I will take a shaker cup. I will take packets. I always like switch my order. 1 month I get packets so that those are easy to travel with. And I kind of keep those on hand. So I've got my packets, I've got my Shakeology, I have RX bars, which are really healthy, really clean. They're not something I eat every day, but RX bars are great as a travel snack. You can take almonds. You can take a handfuls of almonds, put them in a Ziploc baggie, take 3 or 4 apples. I pack that in my luggage. I will sometimes even do fresh vegetables that I will put in little containers. And I'll just put it in my luggage, and when I get there, I've got my containers. Another thing that I do is I portion out a serving of oatmeal, just the raw, uncooked oatmeal, not instant, but like the 1-minute oats that you can microwave. And when I get to the hotel, I'll even take some raisins, or I'll grab some bananas from the continental breakfast, and I will slice up bananas. I will pour my oatmeal in a little bowl, put some boiling hot water on top, and then I'll put a bowl on top of that and let that sort of work over. And then I have a clean breakfast that I have brought with me. And so I will think out at least my breakfast and my snacks. If I know I'm going to be eating lunch out and dinner out, I will try to check out the menus ahead of time to figure out what it is that I can actually eat there, or I'll just do my best to ask for food to be prepared the way I want. At first, peer pressure kind of got the best of me, and I felt weird or guilty for ordering healthy when everybody else was just kind of going with the flow and getting these creamy pasta dishes and salads with ranch dressing. And I just said to myself, you know what, my goals are important to me, and I'm gonna speak up. And so I started saying, can you please leave the cheese off and the croutons and the dressing on the side, and I would like oil and vinegar instead of ranch. Or I will tell people, like, I have a dairy intolerance. Can you make sure that there's no butter or you know, any kind of dairy that's baked into the food, because I can't have it. And so I opened my mouth and I asked for what I wanted, and nobody even flinches. Nobody blinks an eye, because everybody has allergies, right? And so it's not like you're being difficult. People ask all the time. So that sort of is how I plan out the week. Now, bottom line is it always gonna go exactly as planned? No, certainly not. Like, for example, I may get to dinner tomorrow night and say, I have flank steak on there, but I don't want flank steak. I would much rather have those, you know, the shrimp stir fry. So I just flip my days. And so I just am flexible enough to go with the flow, but I also know that I have a plan and the food is already in the house. So guys, was this helpful for you? I would love to kind of get your comments. You know, I know that there's a lot of you that are live right now watching. If there are questions that you have about planning and prepping, please don't hesitate to ask. You know, this is one thing that took me a little while to get the hang of. It took me a good month of every single Sunday sitting down to make my meal plan before I started to really get more efficient and faster. And now it maybe takes me 5 to 10 minutes to get this done, because we have so many foods in rotation that we love and that our family enjoys, that it's not hard to make a meal plan anymore. But I guarantee you that if you do this, you will have a better, more successful week. It will keep you on track to reaching your goals. Okay, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you have questions, comment below, and happy meal planning. Bye, everybody.